The race for LA mayor is one of the most closely watched races in the whole country. Viral videos about the contest have been seen by tens of millions of people all around the world. This week on The Story Is, we're bringing you extended profiles of the top 3 contenders. We begin our series with the incumbent mayor, Karen Bass, who continues to face backlash for her handling of last year's devastating Palisades Fire and the city's homelessness crisis.
This was my dream.
LA Mayor Karen Bass gives us a tour of the St. Vincent Behavioral Health Campus, which is under construction near downtown LA.
This is the essence of what we need to do to solve the homeless situation in Los Angeles.
Madam Mayor.
In 2022, LA's first female mayor was sworn in by America's first female vice president after winning the city election by nearly 10 points.
Oh my God.
But some voters' anger over Bass's handling of the Palisades Fire and the city's homelessness crisis has Bass facing challengers from the left and the right, including City Council member Nithya Raman, a registered Democrat who's a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, and registered Republican Spencer Pratt, a former reality TV star turned self-described community advocate.
What is one word that separates you from the other candidates for mayor?
Experience, collaboration. I'm sorry, I had to throw in another.
We did not eliminate the safety net.
Bass previously served as Speaker of California's Assembly in Sacramento and as chair of the Congressional Black Caucus in Washington.
You cannot run the nation's second largest city without intimate knowledge, long-standing relationships, and collaboration on every level of government.
Before politics, Bass was a nurse and then physician's assistant.
Does this bring you back to your days?
Absolutely, it does bring me back. I loved working in hospitals.
The St. Vincent Medical Center closed in 2020 due to bankruptcy. But this massive campus is now being reimagined. Over the next 2 years, they say it will include intermediate and permanent housing units and treatment services, all in one place.
What makes this different is that this is like one-stop shopping, right?
Right, it's one-stop shop, but that's what I've been crying for, is centralized services.
Bass says over the decades, LA hasn't invested enough in interim housing units like these that are opening soon at St. Vincent's. That's a big reason, she says. There's an estimated 27,000 people living on the streets of Los Angeles, the largest unsheltered homeless population in the country.
When you talked to Jake Tapper in 2023, you said that your goal was to
end street homelessness
in LA by 2026. It's now 2026.
And we haven't ended it.
We have not ended it, and we're not close to ending it. How are you so off?
Well, basically, when I said that, it was at the beginning of my term. I am very committed to achieving that goal. I didn't anticipate some of the bureaucratic barriers.
There's a different kind of housing crisis underway in LA's Pacific Palisades neighborhood. The January 2025 Palisades Fire killed 12 people and burned nearly 7,000 structures. At the time, Mayor Bass was in Ghana as part of a presidential delegation, and there were no firefighters pre-deployed to the Palisades, despite one of the most dire wind forecasts in years. Last February, Bass told me this on Fox 11 Los Angeles.
Although there were warnings that I frankly wasn't aware of.
But what do you mean there were warnings you weren't aware of?
But didn't reach that level to me.
In a new book called Torch, CBS News reporter Jonathan Vigliotti writes, quote, according to multiple sources, Bass was briefed before her departure about the National Weather Service's models. CNN cannot independently confirm CBS's reporting.
So which is it?
That's just simply not true. So I don't know what sources he's talking to, but that is a wholesale falsehood. I will tell you that it wasn't just the city. The entire county was not prepared for this. But what I also said to you, Elex, is that it was a horrible, horrible moment in my life. The point is, I wasn't here when my city needed me, and that is a profound regret.
But that book makes the point that you being in Ghana actually hurt the city's response. It argues that during the hour when the fire was building, that you were sort of out of touch because you were focused on the event in Ghana.
No, that's actually not true either.
Yeah.
So I'll have to read this book, and it would have been helpful if the author would have interviewed me.
Well, he said that he asked for an interview for a couple years, and he never. Yeah.
Well, that's news to me.
Yeah.
Let me just explain to you that when the fire broke out, It was nighttime in Ghana, and I was due to board a plane in a couple of hours, and I took the first plane out. I was in touch the entire time.
Not long after the fires, President Donald Trump visited the Palisades. In April, Bass and LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger went to the Oval Office. She says they asked the president to pressure banks and insurance companies to do more for fire victims.
He did tweet right after that about the banking industry, and that has been helpful in moving the needle.
Is Karen Bass targeting fire victims?
After Spencer Pratt lost his home in that fire, he decided to run against Bass, his first ever political campaign.
What do you think Spencer Pratt would be like as mayor?
I can't even imagine. I don't think I understand. He has a degree in political science, but he does not have a background or knowledge in how our government works.
Pratt responded to that on X, quote, "We don't have to imagine Bass as mayor. We're living that disaster. That's why I'm taking her job." Pratt has been sharing out on his social media AI-generated videos he says are created by his fans.
What goes through your mind when you see that?
Well, actually, I think it's a very dangerous trend. One, because it is absolutely 150% fiction. But what's worrying me now is that his social media is now taking on a violent turn.
LA City Council member Nithya Raman decided at the last minute to challenge Bass. In past campaigns, they'd endorsed each other.
I think there are a lot of people in this city that like you, that respect you, that voted for you, but they're frustrated. They feel like there hasn't been enough change fast enough in the city, and they're not sure if you're up to the task to take it to the next level. What do you say to those people?
Well, what I say is that we have absolutely made progress. I'm frustrated that it hasn't been more. I still will fight for change every single day I'm in this office.
What would you say are your 3 proudest accomplishments as mayor of LA?
3 things. The first reduction in homelessness, in-street homelessness, the first time. That is an accomplishment. The fact that we have 42,000 units of housing being fast-tracked right now, with 6,000 of those units under construction. The fact that crime, especially homicide, is at a 60-year low. Those are 3 accomplishments right off the bat, but we have many more accomplishments too. The challenge has been getting the message out in the atmosphere now where social media is there and truth is something that's up for debate.
In our next hour, we will talk live with Jonathan Vigliotti, who wrote that new book about the 2025 California wildfires. We'll get his response to what you just heard from Mayor Bass. You can watch our full unedited discussion with Mayor Bass right now at youtube.com/Elex Michaelson. It's almost a half hour long. Tomorrow on The Story Is, I sit down with Republican Spencer Pratt, who makes his case to us. And on Thursday, I sit down with Democratic Socialist Nithya Raman to hear her perspective.